Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Monday, May 26, 2025. I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Ward Ahmed, and we've got a really packed show for you today. So firstly, we're going to be doing a really important fact check on is Saudi really unbanning alcohol in 600 tourist locations? We're also going to be discussing how Omani Huda Lawati has raised $200 million, and it's the Gulf's first woman-led equity firm. We're also going to be discussing how Tabby and Tamara's have reported strong profits as Saudi's fintech sector continues to surge. And finally, UAE citizen Pavel Durov's Telegram for the first time posts profits of $540 million in 2024.
First of all, the big story over the weekend on Sunday, everyone was reporting that Saudi is unbanning alcohol in 600 tourist locations. But when you do a deep dive, you'll find out a lot of things, and we'll tell you. A wave of international travel and tourism websites have made headlines, and they've made bold claims about alcohol sales in Saudi Arabia. Several outlets, including Travel and Tour World and the New York Sun, have reported the kingdom will permit alcohol in 600 designated tourist locations by 2026.
Now, these reports suggest beer, wine, and cider will be available in high-end hotels and resorts, but not spirits. However, they cite only unnamed regional authorities and hospitality insiders as sources. Notably, no official Saudi government agency has confirmed this information.
And to date, the Saudi press agency, Ministry of Tourism and Ministry of Interior have not issued any statement lifting the country's long-standing alcohol ban. In fact, senior Saudi officials have reportedly, over the last few years, reaffirmed that Saudi Arabia remains a dry country.
Now, Tourism Minister Ahmed Al-Khatib told Bloomberg in early 2024, "We've decided not to provide alcohol," emphasizing that tourism has continued to thrive. Similarly, Saudi ambassador to the UK, Prince Khalid bin Bandar Al Saud, told the BBC in February 2025, "No, there is no alcohol at all. It's a dry country."
And the original claim appears to have come from a May 20 post by Australian wine blog Wine Intelligence. It stated Saudi Arabia would begin licensing alcohol in 600 zones in 2026. That post was quickly picked up by travel websites and news aggregators without official corroboration.
A Tencent news report in China flagged the story, stating it stemmed only from a wine industry site and no official or mainstream media had commented. Now, Arabic outlet Arabi 21 also re-reported the rumor, but emphasized the lack of any government source.
In summary, on the whole, the widely shared 600 tourist zones alcohol plan remains unverified and unconfirmed. All available statements from Saudi leaders continue to support a national ban until an official government statement is released. The reports should be viewed as speculative rumor, not established fact. And this is very important. I remember Worth was asking me, we did one fact check before, and we did one before as well, and we're going to talk about Pavel later in the show. But when Pavel Durov was caught in France, I remember everyone on X, Twitter, X now, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you go, there was like, oh, UAE is cancelling their Rafale jet orders from France because, oh, they've captured a UAE citizen and etc., etc. And then we kept looking and we were like, let's look for a good angle if it is true. But then we realized that no one was officially reporting on it. There was no AFP, no Reuters, no AP. These are like the global news aggregators and news firms and wire services. Then you come to the National, Khalij Times, Gulf News. You look at all of the big ones, big names, and no one reported on it that, oh, UAE is actually cancelling on. And then we're like, okay, let's go do a deep dive. And we did, and we realized that it was just a rumor started by someone. And I remember there was this one person who had nearly 4.1 million followers on X. That person started the rumor, and then everyone was like, okay, this person has 4.1 million followers.
And these rumors are so dangerous. Yeah. They really are dangerous, especially
when... It's a responsibility, I think. If you have good social media following, just don't throw stuff in people's faces which you think will get you likes, clicks,
and we're speaking about Saudi Arabia here.
Yeah.
I just think that this is such a dangerous rumor for people to just make up, considering Saudi Arabia and their religious stance and what their people stand for. We're going to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that we'll definitely receive a
The
confirmation
best thing
on
that
it.
will come out is a statement of negation, which we'll see soon enough. Obviously, they will not just randomly throw out a statement. Oh no, this is not happening. They'll have a calculated response. The government agencies, Ministry of Interior, everyone.
Something to add in. Apparently, Vogue posted something,
Yeah.
but then they deleted it.
Literally
in the
everyone,
morning.
apart from the big ones, everyone tried to capitalize on the clickbait because, to be honest, if it happens, it's like the story of the century. Not even the decade. It will be the story of the century. Saudi Arabia unbanning alcohol. There was this story last year, which Reuters also reported, and a lot of big news companies actually reported on it, that a very controlled alcohol shop has been opened in Riyadh, but it's only for foreign tourists and dignitaries, and only for people who are non-Muslims and non-residents and non-citizens. So if someone comes, they tried to open that shop, but they shut it down later. It was just for them, for like people who would come and want it, but they closed it. So a lot of people are saying that they're doing perception testing right now with people to see if they get a lot of backlash. They've already done that, if you think. They've already opened a shop and closed it, and they realize that no one will accept it in Saudi Arabia. So it's just rumors. It's just gaining on the momentum that Saudi Arabia has, trying to pull them back through anything possible. And the Saudi Vision and Neon Project, whatever this Western media will get, they'll try and pull Saudi Arabia back.
Majid, you know what? Honestly, your point about pulling Saudi Arabia back, it's interesting because I don't think this would pull it back in terms of international investors seeking to go there. No, it would definitely make Westerners happy. But I think it's kind of this point of, I was watching this video and it was basically Princess Rima, so Saudi's U.S. ambassador, and she was basically saying that Saudi's wealth grows from its culture.
Yeah.
It grows from its culture and it grows from its people's culture. And people keep coming to the country because they want to see that culture. They want to see that wealth of culture. So, their culture is really important to them, and it's, that it's not good to defame something like that.
And the very interesting thing is that their culture also stems from Islam. So Islam is a complete code of life, conduct, culture, everything.
Yeah.
So they derive everything in their culture from Islam mainly, and Islam, alcohol is banned. So let's see, it's going to be a very interesting statement, whatever comes out. And if they choose to stay silent on it, that shows that they don't even want to acknowledge this rumor. So that is also going to be a strong stance for Saudi Arabia if they don't give out any statement that we're not acknowledging any rumors. That's also going to be a very interesting thing to see. We'll keep you updated. Let's move on to the next one. Omani investor Huda Lawati has closed her firm's debut private equity fund at $200 million, making it the first woman-led equity firm in the Gulf region to reach such a milestone.
Now, her Abu Dhabi-based firm, Aluf Capital, attracted major regional backers, including ADQ, the Saudi Public Investment Funds JADA, and Saudi Venture Capital. Now, Aluf Capital raised 20% less than its initial target, but Lawati did emphasize that the shortfall came during one of the hardest fundraising environments for private equity globally. Still, the backing from heavyweight investors reflects strong regional confidence in her vision and her strategy.
And Alif Fund 1 will target investments between $15 million to $40 million in Gulf-based companies. Focus areas for this one will include infrastructure, healthcare, education, and consumer sectors, industries that are scaling rapidly as Gulf economies diversify.
Now, Alif has already made two notable investments. The firm acquired the pet shop, doubling its footprint to 12 locations and launching vet services. It's a UAE-based company. It also took a 25% stake in Sanapex Group, a luxury bathroom and kitchen supplier, preparing it for succession and expansion in the UAE.
Alif plans to invest in 2 more companies this year. Lawati says the firm's approach focuses on driving digital transformation and scaling businesses for long-term growth in the Gulf's evolving private sector.
Now, her profile is really interesting. She was born in Muscat, and Huda Lawati began her career in, it's a German company.
Schlumberger.
Okay, Schlumberg in Oman before boldly moving to Dubai in 2004 with just one suitcase and no job, she told Forbes. Now, she actually quickly rose through the ranks at specifically, it was a Braj group that made her really famous, eventually becoming their chief investment officer for the MENA region with a seat at the partners table. And she was a partner out of 14 people, Majid.
Nice.
Like if you take a look at her career growth, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I've never seen someone who's on that many boards. Wait, I'll show it to you guys right now.
Abraj Group has a history, and she was the chief investment officer. That's interesting. We'll explore that angle more soon on
Can you tell me about that history?
You know the Abraj Group story? Rich told us the Abraj Group story. The guy who was Pakistani, who has a UK passport, he defaulted the company, eventually went to solvency, and she was the chief investment officer. That's a very interesting thing.
That is very
interesting. We should
interesting.
explore it more.
That is very interesting. But
yeah.
We're here to celebrate her successes today because you don't see that many females in the Gulf doing this. But her career, I've never seen someone with a more impressive CV. Like, take a look at this, Majid. Basically, she's a board member for the Entertainer.
Nice.
And then at Abraj Group, she stayed there for 11 years, 8 months. And then she became a board member for Huda company for food and catering.
Nice.
Then she became the CIO of Savola Group in Saudi Arabia. Then she moves, she just basically keeps going. And she worked for El Kabir. They have really good chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
But they have really good chicken nuggets.
All products.
But I've never seen someone with, and then she worked for Maghribi retail group too. So it's and Spinneys, she's a board member at Spinneys.
Nice.
Isn't
That's
that
a lot of
interesting?
money that she's made, and she's become board members or a lot of important companies. The very interesting thing is that it's the first time a woman has led such a big
And she's
fund.
from Oman.
Yeah, and even after 20% below target, she still made 200 million. Remember, we were talking about Noor Sued's idea that at least every fund should be now targeting 300 million and above. They shouldn't be at 100 million.
Exactly.
So she's in the middle. She's done something.
She's trying to reach that aim.
Yeah, and the third story for today, very interesting again, and we're going to Saudi back. In a major boost for Saudi Arabia's fast-growing fintech sector, buy now, pay later platforms, Tabby and Tamara have reported a combined revenue of $143 billion in Q1 of 2025, marking a 39% year-on-year jump. Buy now, pay later, where shoppers split purchases into smaller interest-free payments, is becoming the preferred payment method for Saudi Arabia's young and tech-savvy population.
Now, Tabby led the way, generating $85.1 million in revenue and recording a net profit of $17.4 million, a staggering 553% increase from last year. Now, most of Tabby's income, around 90%, came from commissions charged to merchants, while customer payment extensions brought in $4.3 million. Now, the company is now preparing for a public listing on the Saudi stock exchange, Tadawul, with a valuation of $3.3 billion as of early 2025, more than double its $1.5 billion value in late 2023.
And Tamara, meanwhile, turned a profit for the first time, we'll talk about another first time after this story, reporting $6.9 million in net income after a $16.6 million loss during the same period last year. Revenue reached $57.6 million, up 40% year on year. The company became Saudi Arabia's first fintech unicorn in late 2023, reaching a $1 billion valuation. It is backed by Sanabil Investment, which is the PIF's venture capital fund, and fully owned by the Public Investment Fund.
Now, the rise of buy now, pay later services has been extremely dramatic. Now, daily transactions doubled in 2024 to 120,000, reaching 43.3 million over the year. Now, the total value of items purchased using this model soared to $7.1 billion. And that is like a 206% increase from the previous year.
And interestingly, young adults are leading the charge. Saudi's aged 20 to 30 now account for 37% of the 13.2 million users. That's one third of the users actually, highlighting how deeply buy now, pay later, very famously known as BNPL, has taken root in the kingdom's spending habits. Tabby and Tamara aren't just changing how people shop, they're shaping the future of digital finance in Saudi Arabia.
And I think when it comes to buy now, pay later, Majid, Tamara and Tabby are both very equally successful. They both became unicorns like very quickly.
Yeah.
I believe for Tamara, they were founded at around, was it 2020? It was
It's
2020,
not
I believe.
that old. It's like 4 or
Yeah,
5 years old.
it was founded in September 2020, and they
Nice.
became a unicorn in 2023.
Yeah, 3
$1.5
years.
billion valuation.
Yeah. The thing is, it's a very nice argument that I've had with one or two people about Tabby and Tamara, and everyone says they're copies. They are copies. We've discussed this on the show again and again. They have taken the idea, which was very common in the West, of buy now, pay later. But again, they localized it. You have to understand when you attach your own USP to any product, if you make a Facebook for only Gulf people, Arabic Facebook, it won't be a copy, it would be an innovation. That is how innovation works. If someone said when Graham Bell made the phone, like the whole phone thing, this big giant setup, and after that, even if today someone says this phone is a copy of that phone, no, it's not. This phone does the same job. It helps me call someone. But now it has become a smartphone. It has like 100 million options that the normal first phone made by Graham Bell didn't have. So you can't say it's a copy of Graham Bell's innovation. Likewise, Tabby, Tamara, all the products that you see in the Middle East, all the startups, which look like a copy of a Western product, they had to bring it here. They had to localize it. They had to add options which local people would understand. They had to Arabize it. They had to add Arabic language into it. They had to like make a whole infrastructure around it. So they did a lot of work. You can't just discount them by saying, oh, they're copycats of Western products.
And the founders, one of them has your name, Majid, is
yeah.
Abdul Majid Al Sukhan and Turki bin
We did the
Zarrah.
Dreamers on him.
Really?
Yeah.
And Abdul Muhsin Al Babtain. So
I think it
it's
was the
these three
Saudi
entrepreneurs
National
together.
Day when we did the Tamara one. Because, yes, the first unicorn and everything.
First unicorn in Saudi.
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting about Al Sukhan is he actually previously founded a company. It's called Nana.
Oh,
And it's basically this like grocery platform company. So he came with a lot of experience.
Yeah.
But I think when you take a look at founders like these, Majid, who, they came around during like quarantine time, during COVID, and they founded something that became successful so quickly, you really have to wonder, where are they going to be in the next decade?
Yeah.
Where do
They're
we see
going to be industry
Hassam, the
leaders,
founder?
obviously.
No, seriously, where are we going to see them in the next decade? It's going to be really interesting to
Yeah.
watch.
And talking about industry leaders, a guy who thinks that WhatsApp copied 80% of its feature, Telegram, they finally turned a profit. Telegram reported a record profit of $540 million in 2024, a major turnaround from a $173 million loss in 2023. This was reported by the Financial Times. And this growth was driven by an increase in paying users, crypto-related deals, and new monetization strategies.
No, this is so true, the crypto part. Now, the Dubai-based company posted revenues of $1.4 billion in 2024. It's a first full year of profitability. Now, Telegram also launched a $1.5 billion bond offering aimed at buying back existing debt, repurchasing $375 million in bonds, and holding $513 million in cash by February 2025.
And looking ahead, Telegram projects revenues to reach $2 billion and profits of $720 million in 2025, marking a 46% increase. Despite this positive outlook, concerns remain among investors after founder Pavel Durov's detention in France in 2024 related to content moderation issues.
Now, Pavel Durov, a UAE citizen and the company's founder, remains a key driver of Telegram's success. Now, the company continues to expand its offerings, recently investing heavily in artificial intelligence technology.
And Telegram partnered with Elon Musk's AI startup XAI to bring the Grok chatbot to its platform, marking Grok's first move outside Musk's X social network. This move signals Telegram's push to innovate and stay competitive in the fast evolving tech space.
Oh my God, Majid, you know what's so interesting? Basically, I went to this Binance event last week. You guys know that like famous app Binance. And guess what? Basically, I was speaking to them and they're like, okay, let me take your Telegram. Let's stay in touch. And I'm like, excuse me, I don't have Telegram. And they're like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would I be crazy? There's Instagram, there's WhatsApp. They're like, and you know what they proceed to tell me? They're like, listen, if you want to have conversations that are not being watched and you know, nobody is going into any chat or whatsoever, you need to be on Telegram. And I'm like, you know what? We're not that close for me to get a whole new app for you and destroy my battery data for you. I'm not going to do that. But they love Telegram. They love it. They said that it's the best place to be in if you're in the crypto world.
Crypto world, gamers use Discord a lot because it helps you live stream and all that. But still, gamers will use Telegram a lot. A lot of people who are actually tech savvy, they use Telegram. Even my wife's office, they use Telegram to talk. Like we use our own, we use Slack, we use Monday. I think we use so many things.
They use Telegram to communicate.
Yeah, now we've started using Click and Zoho and all their like whole features, everything that is under Zoho. But they use Telegram to talk. I don't know. Their founder was randomly like, "Oh, we'll use Telegram. It's safe." And this, and I was like, "You guys aren't talking about secrets. You're just talking about which story to do and which not." But yeah, a lot of tech-savvy people who have like a little bit of idea even of tech, they prefer Telegram because apparently Telegram promises that not even them can read your messages. But exactly same promise has been made by WhatsApp. Over the years, Pavel Durov has taken Mark Zuckerberg to the cleaners over this WhatsApp encryption thing. So very easy. I always tell this that whenever you want to see how WhatsApp encryption works, just open a new chat and it will clearly say your message is end-to-end encrypted. And end-to-end encryption basically is very interesting. Just to give you a small explanation. So you send a message, hi. Hi will not go as high over the waves and everything. It will go as a code and maybe it's a binary code, maybe it's an octocode. I don't exactly know the technicality of that, but it gets encrypted. H goes on a different node, I goes on a different node. So no one can combine them. And so even if someone wants to intercept your message, they'll get gibberish of letters like A, B, M, G, X, Y, something. They can't make up the message.
But I do remember, though, Majid, a while ago, this court case of like 6 years has finally been settled between Meta and this Israeli cybersecurity company called NSO. They got back, I believe, over $160 million in damages. And that's because allegedly this Israeli company, NSO, they were spying on WhatsApp users, specifically, I believe, journalists. So I see why people have concerns, and I understand why they're using Telegram.
They found a backdoor into it. Even then, they weren't able to like intercept the message and read it. They found a backdoor, like you sent something or some link or something to them, and then you fish them into, it's called PHI, fish. So you fish them into clicking on something so you can get access to their phone and messages. Yeah, very complicated processes, but very simply, Pavel Durov, the ending part was really interesting that he's partnered with Elon Musk. Both of them have been, for the last year, since Pavel Durov was arrested in France, they've been like the torchbearers or freedom of expression. And we see that on X. You can say literally anything and get away with it.
And not just that, what he said in Qatar Economic Forum, you mentioned that, how he wanted OpenAI, he wanted ChatGPT to be a non-profit company. So I think, but you know what it is with Pavel Durov, and what I also think is a part of that profit surge, Majid. I don't just think it's crypto hitting $100,000 for the first time in history. I think it's the fact that people glorify this man. You know, and as they should, you know, he went to France, he was not allowed to leave. When he came back, the message that he sent on Telegram, wait, I just got it out, by the way, and what he's saying, I'm so deeply grateful for the millions of people around the world who have shown their support through this unexpected journey. It has meant a lot. There is nothing our billion-strong community can't overcome. I think that he has this aura and this life motto and this way of going about his life that people are just so inspired by.
Yeah.
Because honestly, don't you think that his like business upbringing, what I would call it, is honestly strange? He's from Russia, then he goes to America, finds himself in the UAE, becomes a UAE citizen. I mean, that does
The
not
thing
happen to
was-
everyone every single day.
It's I always find it interesting that we always make heroes out of one person, while there's a whole team or at least 2-3 people involved with it. Do you know who made Windows and Microsoft with Bill Gates? No. No one knows the name of the actual guy who built the iPhone. Everyone knows Steve Jobs. Likewise, with Pavel Durov, he had his brother always with him. No one talks about his brother. No one even like puts him on that pedestal, like makes him a hero. But he was always there. They started Vkontakte, and Russian government wanted the data from it, and they ran away, and then they sold it, and then they started Telegram, and then Dubai was one of the places where they felt safe with the idea that encryption is fine. So yeah, very nice story of Pavel Durov. I personally feel he is, and Elon Musk. Sorry, I'm making him a hero, but these are the only two guys who are left in the world who talk about freedom of speech now. Mark Zuckerberg has tracked back very simply. He put out a statement as soon as the Biden administration went and Trump administration came. He said that Biden and his whole administration pressured me into giving data to them, and I gave it to them. So leave Mark Zuckerberg out of it. He's given data to American companies. But then he said, oh, I will never do it again. But then he accepted that he has done it. But Elon Musk and him are the only guys who are taking a stand right now for your messages to stay your messages between you and the person you're sending, and privacy basically. So I think let's see when they will turn and when they will become like, okay, no privacy, no freedom of speech.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're definitely going to find out.
Yeah, so-
And that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. This is Smashi Business, a Smashi Business production under the Augustus Media Podcast Network.
And thank you for our 1.6 million listeners. Please keep sharing our podcast. Please keep sharing our other podcasts, which are under Augustus Media. We have Love in the Way. We have the Smashy Sports Show after this. So if you are interested in sports, you can watch it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah.